Hi, this is Coach Kinsey Shae with Bobby Merwin.
Hello.
Welcome to Ploration. And today we're going to talk about resetting the overwhelm. It's December,
hmm
it's crazy. We have a lot of shazet going on. So,
hmm Did you just have a bottle of 19 crimes? What's going on over there?
no, but I love 19 crimes. Hmm,
Well, there you go.
I know.
Nice. Ah. Yeah, resetting the overwhelm of the holidays. We were talking before we started this about how things can get very overwhelming.
Hmm.
You get emotional. There can be memories of loved ones. There can be memories of relationships. There's also the financial strife. Sometimes some people are, you know, trying to think, do I buy this game system or do I pay the electric bill? Sometimes we
That's
take out
real.
loans that we probably shouldn't.
That's real.
So it's being aware. So let's think about what we're doing. Christmas is a big deal for a lot of people, or this holiday season is a big deal for a lot of people. So let's think about what we're doing and reset if we're getting stressed out.
I mean, resetting the overwhelm, let's just distill what the holidays mean. Like, I think we get so
Makes me
far
want whiskey. Okay, go ahead. I'll have a
we
drink.
get we get so far removed from what our values are of what the holidays are. We get very hyper focused on external dopamine hit type of activities of the presence of
hmm
looking good in front of other people or setting other people's expectations of us
Yeah.
that we
hmm
don't really think of our own core values. Like, even like for me and you, we were just talking, and I'm just like, you know what? Let's take a couple weeks off just to reset, rebeat.
Yep.
Like, let's really own into that because we
We're
tell,
taking a holiday vacation.
yeah, because we teach people to do that. Um,
Yeah. So why
and
don't we do it?
and I think the holidays, it's part of our core values is nurturing ourselves and honoring
hmm
ourselves. We've had a year. You were just talking about, last Christmas was the best Christmas ever, and this
Yeah.
year it's not.
Yeah.
And the thing is sometimes we just need a beat to reflect because that is the little nuggets where we can grow because we can gain perspective, we
Yeah.
can gain knowledge of what has happened in our year, how we can improve upon it, or if it was just a necessary growth period that needed to happen in our journey.
hmm
And that's okay. Just because you have a
Okay.
good Christmas the year before doesn't mean you automatically are going to keep having good Christmases. It ebb and flows, my friend.
Yeah.
It ebb and
It
flows. And
does.
it's
Just like your
okay.
day.
It's okay, my
Exactly.
friends.
It's all right. And I'm going to steal something from Archer. You know, what you just said is a little column A, a little column B. As you and I age gracefully,
Yeah.
we just figure out how to distill, I'm going to steal your word, um, the good and the learnings
Hmm.
from the situation that is happening.
Right.
Because I have to think that when something occurs in my life, I have to think that I handle it better than I did when I was 25.
Right.
And I have to think that I can take something from it more than when I was 25.
Right. And
But I
I
didn't
mean,
have the learnings
yeah.
when
But
I
I
was
mean,
25 also. So we're trying to give that to people.
even giving yourself grace of, did I do better than yesterday? I mean, let's be
hmm
real. Did I do better than
hmm
yesterday? Did I learn something in the last 24 hours? Give yourself grace, my friends. Give yourself some love.
hmm
Give yourself some
Yes.
understanding,
Yes,
some
please.
compassion. It's hard
And know that
sometimes.
you can
We
take the
like to
time
get in
to.
the gutter of our minds and
Yeah,
our self-talk, like you are crap, da 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 da, nobody wants you, da 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 da. And these are all limiting beliefs, that
I have a lot of the da 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 da.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But I think that the going back to the resetting thing, this
yeah.
is what we're trying to say is that we're at December 10th right now. Okay, we got 15 days until Christmas, and that's the big holiday that we plan for, and we try and plan for a long time, and then we get to this point, and it's all of a sudden like, oh, I didn't do this, oh, I didn't do that, and oh, Aunt Marge is coming, oh, she's gonna be here on Tuesday, and blah 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 blah, and we start overthinking things. Just give yourself some grace, just like Kinsey said. Just give yourself a moment to be like, okay, that was a little overwhelming, but let's focus and see what we can draw out of this that is good and how we can save it.
Mhm.
They're stressful for all of us.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anybody that isn't stressed at one time or another during the holidays,
Yeah.
right?
I think just focusing on what your core values are and just really bringing that in your forefront view each and every day, and just using your breath, using your, I call it the three hearts. It's a heart math technique, the quick coherence technique, where you slow down your breathing, you focus on your heart space, and then you breathe in and out gratitude, and you release everything. I add on, you release everything to the universe, to God, or whatever after.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yes.
for me, I have to, if I'm feeling angst, I have to release something. So I even will be like, I'm grateful and I fill my heart with compassion. And then I
Mm-hmm.
will be like, I release this with love. Because you can't
Mm-hmm.
release it with anger, because you'll still have that angst because you'll be angry.
I am releasing this now. Somehow that just doesn't feel right.
No, you have to do it with love. Love
Excuse
matters.
me.
Love
Yeah.
matters.
Yes, you have to align the chakras. Yeah.
Yeah.
Focus. Yeah. That's a good sound. I like that. That's good. Oh gosh.
So, like a little dove.
Mm-hmm. A little bit of cooing. A little cooing.
My freaking guinea pig sounds like that. He coos like that. I didn't
Does
know
he?
guinea pigs made that many noises, but
I didn't either until that one show where you held him up and you can get him near the microphone. I was hearing the noises. I'm like, that's kind of cool.
I know he sounds like a bird. He sounds like, I don't know, some ravaged animal. And he just has a whole bunch of noises.
Depends on his mood. Maybe he was releasing
Yeah,
stuff to the universe at that time. We don't
he
know.
was. He was
He
releasing.
was.
He was releasing.
Yes.
But no, I think in this time, this is a perfect time to journal, to reflect. And I
Oh
know
yeah.
this sounds
Yeah.
like woo woo and oh my God, everybody tells us to do this. But there's something magical when you set intention and you
There's
reflect,
a reason.
and then
Yeah.
you kinesthetically feel the pen on the
Hmm.
paper. It's like you release the
Yeah.
energy, like the weight
Yep.
of everything just goes away and you can see clearly. I mean, we don't
Yeah.
say this for piss and giggles. I mean, we say this because it actually works. It's actually what we do.
Hmm. I'm still laughing at piss and giggles. I'm like, I've never heard that one. That's like the that's like the PG-13 version of it.
It is. It is.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
Hmm. You know what? It's funny that you'd be having a sip of that because, I tend to wet my mouth as we're talking. And somebody made a comment like, you drink too much while you're on the podcast. I'm like, you try doing this. You try talking for 30 straight minutes. I drink all the time when I'm talking to clients, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always doing it. And you're in front of the camera and stuff like that and lights and whatever. So,
Well,
yeah.
we are treating this more as like we're having a cup of coffee and we're talking. Um,
Yeah.
this is, I mean, this
Do I
is
have any coffee
this isn't
left?
a
Oh, I
production.
do.
This is actually us giving a shit and that we care about
Hmm.
people. And
Hmm.
this is, we want you to feel like you're sipping a cup of coffee with us and sitting back, whatever you're sipping. But
Hmm.
that we're just chilling. Because honestly, breaking bread or sharing space, um, where there's food or whatever, when you involve like more senses into a conversation, the more you retain it. So For me,
Yep.
this is just laid back. This is just how we wanted to do this, just
Mm-hmm.
very playful. We talk about serious stuff, but
Yeah.
we add levity to it because that's how you release the pain.
It is, and it's how you can paint better pictures of what we're trying to say as well. You bring levity, you give metaphors, you give situations that relate to us so that other people can relate to them.
Mhm.
So, yeah,
So,
I
I mean,
agree with you.
yeah, if
And you
you're
know what? I'm having coffee. So there.
if you're feeling overwhelmed, I mean, just take a pause, take a beat, reset,
Mm-hmm.
breathe, and really set intention to reflect during this holiday season,
Mm-hmm.
to get you in the right, to prime your mind, to
Yeah.
prime, your body. Um, I know that I need a reset. And Bobby agreed that he needs one. And I think
Mm-hmm.
it's just a
Yeah.
perfect time for people just to nurture themselves and to love themselves. And you don't have to be at every event. You
Right. You don't have
take,
to be at every function.
yeah, like you
Yeah.
can take a moment. And I mean, even today, I'm like, I just need to take a beat. So
Mm-hmm.
I had my tea this morning. I lit a candle. I did, I meditated, I prayed, I sang, and I was just in my space. And, I afterwards, I just chuckled. I'm like, 6 years ago, I would have made fun of my ass today.
I was gonna. Oh my god, I was going to say that. Oh my god, I'm like, you're just short a ukulele. That's all
I
you're short
know.
in that little combination of stuff that you just said. But let's not take the piss out of this. There is a reason that you do this. Is because it is working for you and this is what you do. One of the things that I try and tell people is that if you're thinking that you cannot take 1 minute, 1 minute to reset yourself, you're in a cubicle, you got things going on, you've got deadlines, and you're stressed, you're really, really upset. If you take that 1 minute and just close your eyes and focus on the next two things that you need to do, and if you don't believe that your boss can wait 1 minute, then you're probably wrong or you're in the wrong job. I'm not saying take 1 minute 72 times a day. That's a bit much.
Mhm.
But, if you get to that point, and I know where that is, and so do you, because we figured it out, because we have practiced this. You get to a point where you're like, I have to stop. And I know that. That's what I say literally out loud. I'm like, I have to stop. Because I'm
Yeah.
trying to do too many things at once.
Right.
I'm trying to be too many places at once. Hermione Granger with the time turner in Harry Potter. She wants to do so much she has to split herself apart. Like,
Right.
nope, that is not what I'm going to do. I'm going to do what I can, and I'm going to do the best that I can. And if I'm trying to run at 110%, I'm not
Right.
going to run at my best. You
Right.
can floor your car for 7 seconds and have it work fantastic to get you out of a situation. Do that for an hour. See how that goes for you.
Well, and the
It's not
thing
going to go
is,
well.
I do it so frequently that I don't even know I do it anymore because I was speaking at an event
Do
and
what? I'm sorry. Clarify. Do
what
what? You said you do it
I
so much.
reset, like I take a moment
Oh, thank
just
you.
to
Okay.
reset.
I thought you were going to say meditate. I'm like, do you just start walking
No,
through a room and go, wait a second, I have to
no,
drop down?
no,
Oh.
just to reset, just focus on my breath, just focus on the gratitude, just focus on
Mm-hmm.
just to, reboot my system. And
Right. Okay.
it was funny. I was speaking and it was virtually, and the there was a delivery driver that delivered a package right in the middle of me speaking. And my dog started
Nice.
barking.
Of course.
Yeah, just started, and I just played it, and I just like I took a breath and just briefly closed my eyes, and then I'm like, yeah, my dog is even so excited about this topic. Let's get into this. And I needed that pause. it's okay, but it's funny because I didn't know that I did it
Mm-hmm.
until somebody there a lot of people afterwards they're like, I loved how you just totally reset. And
Mm-hmm.
they didn't, I can't remember all their words, but they're like, how you came back from that, how you did that, and whatever. Because
Mm-hmm.
most people, they just go off the rails when they're speaking and something
Yeah.
happens. And
Yep.
you ended up way stronger than you did in the beginning. And it was after you reset. And honestly, after you do it for so long, it's just automatic because your system craves it.
So
It
what I'm hearing is that you created a positive pattern for yourself
correct.
in doing this reset, and you learn to do it over and over again to the point now where it's just basically automatic, and it's something that saves you when you get to a certain boiling point. You're like, oh, hold on, I'm gonna bring that down, because we're going to get to that point. There is
Right.
no avoiding that. It's going to happen somewhere in our lives. So if it's going to happen, then we need to find that way to bring it down. And I
Mhm.
like what you're saying about that, is that you have a system that you use. And I'm trying to say the same thing to people. We're trying to meet people where they are, right?
Mhm.
So if people don't have any knowledge of how to do this or what, just take 1 minute. Just take 1 minute at your cubicle or at your desk or in your car when you're sitting in traffic.
And
I
this
did it
isn't,
the other day.
yeah, this isn't like something you do
Traffic.
once a month, the once every other month. This is stuff you do daily. You start your day off with it,
Mm-hmm.
you end your day with it, you build it
Mm-hmm.
in, couple it. I don't care if you're going to the bathroom and that's your reset time and release time. I don't
Mm-hmm.
care. Um, just make it a habit. And usually when you
Mm-hmm.
couple it with something, it gets done. So I know everybody has to get on the pot to do their business. So a lot of times I'll just say, you sit on the toilet, right? Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Take a minute while you're on the pot and reset.
Mm-hmm.
Focus on your breathing, focus on your
Mm-hmm.
gratitude. I mean, we all have to do that. And it will remind you to release and let go. Everything you're holding on to, you are physically letting go.
There's a lot of poop metaphors right there. I mean, you just keep lining them up like crazy. You said just breathe in and relax. I'm like, kind of depends on what you're doing. um, and then you said just let it go. I'm like, God, I can't wait to take this apart. I'm gonna find this and section it out. It's gonna be so good. No, but I mean, you're right. I'm taking the piss out of what you're saying, and I don't mean to, because you are
No.
exactly right. I saw a commercial the other day, and it was a cut shot to this woman who was sitting on the toilet. She was holding her phone, and you could tell that she was sitting on the toilet because you could see like the back of the toilet, and then you could see the sink
Right,
past her. So it wasn't like lewd or anything like that. It was a commercial, right?
right.
And then she goes, "Do I escape to the bathroom so I can relax?" And all you hear is yelling out the door of kids like running by. And then she looks at her phone and goes like that. That's fine. I don't want that to be the only time that you do it, but I think what Kinsey is saying is utilize that time. Take a moment and go, okay, I'm going to refocus. I know that when I get done here, I need to do this and this, and give yourself a path to follow that is less cluttered than it was before you went in. Am I somewhere there for you?
Well, yeah, but I want people couple it with something because when you couple an activity with something you already do every day, you're more
Mm-hmm.
apt to do it. You know, people try to make a mess out of stuff and try to make it way too complicated. They make all these lists.
Right.
Um, they make it super difficult to follow, or they try to do 4 different environments of their life, like their finances, their relationships. They
Oh,
try to do everything at once. And
yes.
that's why people in January, by January 21st, people quit doing whatever they do because they're trying to do everything. We're just
Mm-hmm.
asking you to just kind of take a little step forward, even if it's a toe, and then
Mm-hmm.
maybe the next day it's like a toe and a half. We're
Mm-hmm.
not each day over time, it's going to be more than you going back and forth
Right.
because you don't retain anything. There's usually not a very good positive
Mm-hmm.
reinforcement loop with that. Some people are just can do that. I can't. I have to make it a habit every day. Like
Okay.
I was with a friend of mine last year around the holidays, and he used the word militant. He goes, "You're very militant about your routine." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he goes, "Well, you get
Hmm.
up and you meditate, and then you do your movement, and then," he goes, "I don't know everything you do, but it's very, you take time to do all this." And I go,
You're right.
"Yeah, I do, but what do you take time to do? Does it make you feel better?" It wasn't me trying to cut him down. It was just like, don't say
Right.
what I'm doing is militant, when it if you give yourself bumper rails, you can soar. Like it gives you, because when you're constant in that deconstruction of like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? How am I going to do this? If you give yourself boundaries of your morning routine and your night routine, I know I talk about this all the time, but it's the one thing after my car accident that kept me sane.
I
It
follow.
kept me sane.
Hmm.
So it's something I teach everybody. Like, you need to focus on your morning and your nighttime routines. I know everything else is a effing mess right now, and when you're angry, it's okay. I really want people to understand when you're angry, sometimes you just have to say words without judgment, not centering yourself. Like if you're angry and you say the F bomb 30 billion times and that's normally not your character, I think your nervous system needed to release some stuff. It's okay.
Yeah. I mean, directed at the air. Probably don't direct it at somebody else. And I know that's
No,
what
no,
you
no.
were saying, but
Yeah.
I get that. I mean, they,
Yeah.
this is the truth. They did a thing on MythBusters about people that have pain and then if they swear versus not swearing. And
Mhm.
they literally found out that people that swear release more stress than the people that didn't. So
Right.
I don't want to tell you that swearing is the answer. I'm just saying that, if you go into a room and just yell, into a pillow and swear into it and then center yourself after that, if you need to do that, okay. I wouldn't, think that you need to do that every time and I wouldn't want you to do that every time, but.
But I mean, there might be a time. I mean, after my car accident, I had to do that daily because I was in so much pain. Um, I mean, even recently, I had a 10 out of 10 day pain,
Mhm.
level. Yeah, I cussed in my pillow, and it doesn't make me a bad person. I didn't have judgment on it.
Right.
I knew that my nervous system needed to release. When we take ourselves out of it and, like that it means something, it doesn't mean
Yeah.
crap. It just means your body needs to release, your nervous system needs to release. And
Right.
sometimes just cussing into a pillow, because if you keep burying that down, you're going to project that onto somebody else that doesn't even deserve it. So I'm
Correct.
okay with cussing at a pillow.
Yeah. And it's all part of the theme of today, which is resetting.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to reset. We're, you know, 10 days into December. There's a lot of holidays coming up. There's a lot of expenses coming up. There's a lot of family you're going to fly somewhere. They're going to fly to you, whatever. It's stressful. We see it coming. And then all of a sudden, there's that like seventh wave that comes in. And all of a sudden, it's the stress that comes with it. And you're like, oh, God, I do this every year and I forget that it's going to be stressful. It is. So if it does get stressful, we want you to try and just reset. Take a
Yeah.
moment for yourself. Follow some of the things that Kinsey was saying. Even grab a ukulele, whatever.
Yeah. Or drum, whatever. I even
Hey,
have a sacred drum I use.
yeah?
My dog loves it. I just go around the house and I'm like, ay, ay, ay,
Oh my God. Do you now? Do you now?
I do
Well,
because
this is going to be our last show. We'd like to thank everybody for tuning in.
no,
God.
I just invite people just to be themselves. Like
Uh huh.
6 years ago, I would have never even thought that I would do anything like that. But
I get it.
after my car accident, where my whole identity was stripped away, I felt where, I felt like I was a burden to the world and there was nothing for me to lose. And it was the most invigorating, um, powerful, empowering sense because I didn't care. I just was making my heart happy. And
Hmm.
if people didn't get it, they didn't get it. They filtered themselves out of my life. So, you know, so I really just embrace people just to be their quirky selves. I mean, there was this guy there was a complex I used to live at, and he used to do laugh therapy in the morning. It was an Indian guy, and he would just laugh and laugh
Yeah,
and laugh. And
that is a deal
I
over
knew
there. Yep.
exactly what he was doing. So every morning I would meditate. I would meditate with him. I wouldn't laugh, but it just made me internally laugh. And so
Yeah.
I would meditate outside, no matter how cold it was, while this guy was doing his laugh therapy, and all the neighbors were just like, "What's wrong with that?" I go, "He's doing laugh therapy." And they're like, "What's that?"
Hmm.
I go, "It's to help you release all the good feel good hormones. It actually is
Hmm.
a therapy."
It is.
Oh, I thought it was crazy. And I'm like, just because you don't know what something is doesn't mean that it's crazy.
Yeah. Don't
Look
yuck
at
somebody
your
else's yum,
drivers.
as they say, right?
Look at your biases,
Yeah.
your judgments. Like, call them out. I mean, just because
Hmm.
you grew up a certain way doesn't mean that
Hmm.
everybody grew up that way. Doesn't mean
That's
everybody
right.
has to live by your little egocentric multiverse in your head, you know?
Kinsey, you need to reset now. Let's get your reset, okay? There we go. And reset. Okay. I know
No,
you're not going to believe this because I'm the timekeeper today, but we're about up on time.
oh, really?
Yeah, I'm telling you the truth. It goes
Oh,
by so quick.
so for everybody that's watching, we want you to have a wonderful Christmas, New Year's. Our intention is to take a couple weeks off. We'll be back on the 9th of January with new content. We're going to be on our new platform. So,
Yep.
a lot of fun coming up.
Some new
Um,
things.
yeah, a lot of new
Yeah.
things. So we just kind of wanted to kind of cut it off. This will be airing, I think, on the 19th. It'll be
Mm-hmm.
3 days before my birthday. My birthday is the 22nd of December. Um, so yeah, we're just going to take a few weeks off just to reset, and we'll be back. But just remember, this is a joyful time. Joy
Yes.
isn't brought by things or by
Nope.
people. It's brought by the compassion of your heart, the love in your heart. That's what the joy is. Whatever that is for you, we're just asking and inviting you to embrace that part, that essence, your truth of you.
Yes.
So, yeah, have a wonderful, wonderful holiday.
Yes, please do. And remember when you just get that stressed out, this show is about resetting.
Yeah,
And you're gonna utilize this and these tools. You're gonna do them more than once. Try and repeat them in your time. Just take the time. Give yourself that. Give yourself that gift of being able to reset. It has changed my life in the last year.
right,
It really, really
right,
has. I have been incorporating this into my life more this year than I have in any other time in my life, and I wish that I would have started doing it sooner. Just like what you said about the whole, if you'd have told me 6 years ago I was doing this, I'd have said that I was crazy,
right.
right? And now you're doing this, and what does it do? It helps you.
Yeah,
So just
yeah,
take a look at it, and remember, if you're just getting too overwhelmed, just take a moment to reset, and that's what we're here for. So
yeah. Just
we're
be
glad that we can
curious, my
share these
friend.
things with you.
Yeah, just be
Yeah.
curious,
Yep.
embrace it, and enjoy your time. And we appreciate you. We love you. And we will see you in 2025.
Yes, we will. New platform. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be
Woohoo!
cool. New platform.
All right, you guys, take care.
Bye, everybody. See you next year.
Yes, yes.